Morning. We are back on another Monday, and as always, our objective is to start the week off with a positive. So this morning, I would like to focus more on the brothers who might be listening. Now, sisters, you can continue to listen if you like to, but this morning is really for my brothers. I noticed growing up, man, that there was a phrase that was always used, and I found myself using it at times. My word is my bond. So why is that phrase not being used so much today? I couldn't tell you, but I know that when I heard the phrase, what comes to mind, the connotation that comes to my mind is that what you say is important. What you promise is important. What you've obligated yourself to do is important. And so in looking at that particular phrase, it calls to mind a situation that happened this weekend. Now, coming off this week, I'll be honest with you, I was very tired. I've added workouts into my week along with the jobs that I have to do, and so it can be a little much at times. But one thing that I had forgotten, it had slipped my mind. I had promised, I had gave my word that I would help my aunt move. There were things that she needed. She was moving into a new place, and so she called and asked, and I assured her that I would come, but they kind of slipped my mind. But now, because of the fact that I had gave my word, despite the fact that I was tired, despite the fact that I really would have rather stayed home and rested, I got up, I got myself together, I made sure that my daughter had something to eat, and I got in my truck and I went and I fulfilled the obligation that I had taken upon myself. Yes, my word was my bond. You see, that phrase really means that a person is fully committed to doing what it is they said they were going to do. And I think for us as men, that is a powerful notion to think about. In a world where there are so many things that go wrong, there are so many lies that are told on a daily basis, wouldn't it be a wonderful thing for you to be known as a man of your word? And I think that's important, because if you're a man of your word, then that means that you are someone who can be relied upon. You're reliable, you're trustworthy. And in being an individual who is trustworthy, a lot of times that particular notion will take you longer than any degree, any certificate, anything that you might have. That particular quality of being reliable and being trustworthy will take you farther in life. And so I think this morning, that particular topic was necessary, because I hear so many times on social media and even in person that when referring to us brothers in general, the going thought is that we are not dependable, we are not trustworthy. And so I think that there is some room for improvement there, because I remember growing up, and my great uncle, Uncle Van, who I mentioned a lot, that was a mark of manhood according to him. That was a mark of manhood. A man stands on the things that he says. And why is that important? Because before you take the initiative to speak, before you say anything, then you take into consideration what it is that you're about to embark upon, whether or not you can successfully carry that from beginning to end. That's what the thought was all about. And so it was always a good thing to me to hear him when he talked about that manhood, and how manhood is especially tied to your word. So now when you think about too, how that has an effect on the individuals around you, when you say something and you are a man of your word, then there's never any reason to doubt, right? Because what you're trying to do, now I'll use this illustration, okay? This is what you're trying to do if you are a man of your word. This is what you said, right? This is what you did. And so the measure of whether or not you are trustworthy and reliable is the distance between what you said and what you did, right? So if in the end of the situation, this is what you said, this is what you did, then you carried your word out. But in a lot of situations, I'm finding for me personally, because I'm so adamant about being trustworthy and about being a man of my word, a lot of times this is what I say and this is what I do. So I'm going beyond what's required of me. And you got to understand that that particular notion brings about an added level of security when people talk to you, especially in business. If they know that they're going to get more than what it was that they bargained for, then individuals are more likely to try to elicit you to help them to complete the task that they have. And it's the same thing in life in general. If you are known for a person that, as a person that takes things to their completion, you start, when you're finished, it's done. People are prone to want to be in your company because they know that you're trustworthy. And then with that ability to be reliable and trustworthy also comes a level of honesty. Because in order to look at things in reality, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with those around you so that you can carry out what it is that they ask of you. You can carry out the commitments that you have. And so being trustworthy and reliable, letting your word be your bond, is something that really is lacking nowadays. And as men, I think that that's a point where we can make some progress. I really do. And I think that in the long run, taking on that particular notion and adding it to your arsenal of tools to handle the world around you, you will benefit from it. And so I hope the discussion this morning wasn't too heavy. You know, sometimes when I get a thought in my mind, I am adamant about bringing that thought out and fully expressing myself in regards to it. But at any rate, man, I'm hoping that everything goes well for you this week. As always, you know what we say: do something positive and watch it come back to you in greater measure. It always does. It never fails. And so we hope that the week goes well once again. We hope that everything that you plan comes to fruition. We hope above all that you remain positive. You know we love you. Peace.